You should have read in the news that former First Lady of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan, has again, for the umpteenth time, endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term in office. Yes, Dame Patience Jonathan has endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to recontest and be voted for a second term in office. This amidst several complaints from Nigerians about the hardship and the no real impact of the so-called economic reforms of the present government. Now, this is against the backdrop of several calls from plenty quarters, including the party that once housed the First Lady and her husband, the former President Goodluck Jonathan. Now, I thought it was a mirage until I had been reached from many quarters, confirming that former President Jonathan, is very well interested in returning to Aso Rock. Because, of course, the political dynamics currently favors him. Even if there are more, I read yesterday, Festus Keyamo's elaborate shenanigans of just opposing the legal consequences of having Jonathan on the ballot of 2027. All of that will be looked at later. But I'm more concerned that Jonathan has a chance to fulfilling his second of his 8-year term as permitted by the Constitution. And so some quarters in the north of Nigeria and some PDP stalwarts are asking that a Jonathan against Bola Ahmed Tinubu ticket may just be somehow of a chance for Tinubu to be ousted, even if some of us think otherwise in many ways. But this is not the video. But the lesson to learn here is that the husband is interested in returning to Aso Rock, but the woman is already endorsing somebody else. Now, though this is a political post, I am wanting to derive some level of understanding. First, establish that Dame Patience Jonathan's endorsement of Tinubu is not in any way in view of what is happening in the country. It's blackmail. One of Goodluck Jonathan's greatest Achilles' in his government was allowing Dame Patience Jonathan to be in charge if she was in charge. And a lot of the corruption cases that the Jonathan's family has or had were emanated from the office of the First Lady, Dame Patience Jonathan. In fact, in the words of Peter Obi, campaigning for 2023 elections, he said that when you don't steal, you reduce the tendency of people that work with you to steal. Dame Patience Jonathan is that sinister emblem that represents. She was everywhere. In fact, I made a video one time, some of you were trying to be very emotional. I said, that woman was a complete thief. The money that Dame Patience was linked to Dame Patience Jonathan, go and check, just Google. Millions and thousands of US dollars. She had buildings, she stole so much, and she gave opportunity for many persons in Jonathan's government to also take. Right now, what Tinubu is doing with her is blackmail. Somebody was telling me, I said they give her money. They don't need to give Jonathan's wife money. There is so much of record with the EFCC. In fact, as late as 2022, she forfeited some of her monies in the account over, I think it was $8 million and some properties. It was at the point she endorsed Tinubu, that all of that. I know Tinubu now, smart businessman. He puts now with Jonathan's call to get into presidency, because the North is yet to believe that Peter Obi, some part of the North, really the elite, are yet to believe that Peter Obi can be trusted to do one term and hand over to them. But they have a Jonathan who constitutionally already restricted to having one term. So you see the gamble, but the wife is someone. And now this is the lesson we need to learn. And if you notice the recent time, Goodluck Jonathan himself has been flaunting or showcasing his second wife, who just also bagged a doctorate degree. Short, people say that it was it was the fact that there was a doctorate degree to be bagged, and that's why Dame Patience Jonathan went to, and all of that. The pictures are everywhere. Jonathan has been inviting his friends to, and the woman seems to be different. When picking a wife, when picking a partner, ensure that your values and principles align. Ensure that your values and principles. I don't want to delve into the stories in the public place. There's no book, there's no documentary that perfectly captures what we're told of how Jonathan met Dame and all of that, as being somebody that was privileged and had political influences. I don't want to delve into that. But one of Jonathan's biggest problem, and it's not that I'm endorsing him to return to office, is that there is a wife who Oju Kokoro, big interest for money, don't push her, go commit herself to too many things. Now the woman is publicly demarketing her husband's chances. This is a lesson all of us should learn. This same woman, with all of the charade of principal always speak English, the stealing she was stealing from Jonathan's government had professorship title. She was an illiterate socially, but financially she was a don. The money heist, the stealing heist that happened under First Lady Dame Jonathan's office is unquantifiable and immeasurable. It is something, we paid attention to the, but she was in charge. We paid attention to all of the weakness. We are very easy to be emotional. And I made the video, people are saying, leave her alone. You don't read, you don't check records. As much as I don't want to come and, no level self. She's a thief. And look at what she's doing now. Look at what Tinubu is doing to her. Jonathan may not be the best of presidents, but at least he did better than what we have now. The corruption that was used, show race, our reporters, a lot of people used to demarket, it was from this woman's office that people had rise. All the Alice, Madueke, and all of that took opportunities for that. When picking a partner, open your eyes. It's not just enough to look at shape, look at future, ask questions. Check. Does this person have the same values and principles with me? One of the greatest challenges that Jonathan, I said, is the Achilles heels. He picked a wife who's more interested in having.